Coach's Corner is your source. Baseball, football, soccer.
Last night in boys soccer for the Tesla Cup, North Hagerstown beat Clear Spring 8-0. Smithsburg and South Hagerstown played to a tie of 1-1, while Mountain Ridge beat Williamsport 2-0. In the MDCC semifinals, Grace beat Cumberland Valley Christian 3-2. In girls soccer, North Hagerstown took down Clear Spring 8-0. Smithsburg beat South Hagerstown 9-0. And Mountain Ridge beat Williamsport 8-0. Liberty took on Boonesboro and also won 8-0. In volleyball action, North Hagerstown beat Clear Spring 3-0. 25-11, 25-22, and 25-22 were scores for all three matches that North Hagerstown was victorious in. Williamsport beat Spring Mills in three matches by scores of 25-21, 25-18, and 25-21. Boonesboro took down South Hagerstown 3 matches to 1, winning by scores of 25-19, 25-22, and 25-15, while Smithsburg toppled Thomas Johnson 3 matches to nothing, winning with scores of 25-17, 25-22, and 25-14. In the MDCC semifinals, Grace beat Faith 3-0 by scores of 25-3, 25-15, and 25-12. Calvary took down Heritage as well in the MDCC semifinals 3-0. In field hockey, St. James beat Oakdale last night 3-1. Drew Lobley and Bryson Rohrer, Alfred Basong, and Hector Diaz of North Hagerstown boys soccer were all top performers last night in the Tesla Cup. Lobley had 4 goals and 2 assists. Rohrer had 2 goals and an assist. And Basong and Diaz each scored as the Hubs won the Tesla Cup title as Washington County Public School champions with a win over Clear Spring. Skylar Norris and Emerson Shank, as well as McKenna Murphy and Ellie Schwartz for Williamsport Volleyball, all shined. Norris had 10 kills, 2 blocks, and 5 digs, while Shank had 16 assists, 2 kills, 2 blocks, and 4 digs. Murphy had 16 assists and 6 digs, while Schwartz had 4 kills, 3 blocks, and a sweep of Spring Mills. Tonight, some big games in Washington County for varsity football. Williamsport travels to South Hagerstown with a kickoff at 6. Brunswick travels to North Hagerstown, also a kickoff at 6 o'clock, while Smithsburg battles Catoctin at 6:30 in Catoctin. Southern Anne Arundel comes to Boonesboro, kickoff at 7, while Clear Spring and Tussey Mountain battle at 7 p.m. Coming up tonight in boys soccer in Washington County, St. James will take on Merritt at 4:15. Girls soccer action on Saturday, October 19th. Boonesboro travels to Hagerstown. That game's at 10 a.m. And Smithsburg travels to Francis Scott Key with a game at 11:30 a.m. Clear Spring takes on St. James at 1 o'clock, while Walkersville battles North Hagerstown at 1 o'clock. Tonight in girls volleyball action, St. James will travel to Potomac, the match starting at 4:15. Last night in volleyball action for Franklin County, according to the sports page, Cumberland Valley Christian Blazers fell last night to Faith. Faith Christian rallied in the final 2 games to defeat the Blazers 3-2 Tuesday in a Mason-Dixon Christian Conference girls volleyball quarterfinal playoff game. The Blazers ended their season with an 11-11 record, and Faith advanced to the conference semifinals. Faith won the first game 25-23, but the Blazers came back with victories of 25-10 and 25-21. Then they suffered losses of 25-23 and 17-15. In girls soccer action last night for Franklin County, Greencastle Antrim beat Mifflin County 3-0. The Blue Devils ended their regular season with a Mid-Penn Colonial victory over the Huskies. In Lewistown, Greencastle finished the regular season out at 12-5-1 with a record of 11-2-1 in the MPC and are currently ranked number 7 in the District 3 Class 3A. In the District 3 Class 3A division, the Blue Devils will likely host a first-round game in the playoffs on Monday. After a scoreless first half against Mifflin County, Greencastle Antrim got their offense going. Callie Iser took a shot that deflected off a defender and went into the net, and Braylon Cordell then hit the net after a pass from Shayna Overcash. An insurance goal was knocked in by Kat Marciano off a corner kick taken by Haley Baker. Goalkeeper Lexi Nelson had to make only 2 saves to post her 10th shutout of the season. Last night in American League Championship Series action, the Cleveland Guardians got a win against the New York Yankees, the win going to Pedro Avila with the loss going to Clay Holmes. Homering for the New York Yankees was Stanton with his 3rd home run on the postseason and Judge with his 2nd home run on the postseason. For the Cleveland Guardians, Fry knocked one out of the park, making his 2nd home run in playoff action, and Noel also notched a home run with his 1st home run in the American League Championship Series. Also claiming a win last night was the Los Angeles Dodgers over the New York Mets in the National League Championship Series. The Dodgers hammered the Mets 10-2, recording 12 hits on the night. with Evan Phillips getting the win for the Dodgers. Jose Quintana got the loss for the New York Mets, and the Los Angeles Dodgers now lead the championship series for the National League 3-1. Tonight, we'll see more action in the Major League Baseball playoffs. The Dodgers take on the Mets in the National League Championship Series Game 5. That kicks off at 5:08, while the Yankees battle the Guardians once again in the American League Championship Series Game 4. The Yankees lead the series 2-1. In a rather stunning result last night, the Denver Broncos took down the New Orleans Saints in Thursday night football action. Make sure you catch all the action for the NFL this weekend, kicking off at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time as the Patriots battle Jacksonville in London. Seattle takes on Atlanta at 1 o'clock. Also having 1 o'clock games, Tennessee taking on Buffalo, Cincinnati traveling to Cleveland, Houston traveling to Green Bay, Miami traveling to Indianapolis, Detroit traveling to Minnesota, possibly for the game of the week, while Philadelphia battles New York in New York. And at 4:05, we have Vegas taking on the Los Angeles Rams, while Carolina takes on the Washington Commanders. And at 4:25, Kansas City battles San Francisco, another candidate for game of the week for the NFL. And New York battles Pittsburgh on Sunday Night Football. There's a doubleheader matchup for Monday Night Football, Baltimore taking on Tampa Bay at 8:15, while Los Angeles Chargers battle the Arizona Cardinals, kicking off at 9 p.m. Coming up next, it's time to make our weekly NFL picks with Tim. Hopefully I do better than I did last week because it was not good. That's coming up next on the Coach's Corner.
Where the tri-state goes for local sports, the Coach's Corner is your source. Baseball, football, soccer.
Hey, got Tim on here with me, our resident NFL expert, or so he thinks. But you're looking like an expert after last. You're looking like an expert after last week. Would you like to hear the tally of how we did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you went. So we didn't pick Thursday night's game because we spoke on Friday. So we had 13 total games. I'll tell you first of all, I went 11-2. Is the suspense killing you? You went 13-0.
I did not go 13-0.
You went 13-0. You got every game right.
Are you for real? I went 13-0.
I'm pretty sure, unless I can't hear or count right, which is a high possibility. We'll go through every game. All right, so Jags and Bears. We both had the Bears. The Bears came out victorious, 35-16.
I believe you, but well, now I'm upset. I'm upset because I didn't bet that. Think about what that would have paid.
Yeah.
Money line on 13 games.
Yeah. We'll briefly touch on it, and the ones that I ridiculously missed on. All right, so Jags, Bears, they were in London. We both took the Bears. Bears won by a lot. Caleb Williams looked pretty good. And then you had the Commanders and the Ravens. I picked the Commandos, and you picked the Ravens, and the Dirty Birds won 30-23. Now, that was a good game, though.
It was.
The Commanders looked good.
Yeah, they continue to look good. Yeah, I mean, I hope. Hey, man, I already told you. I hope they make the Super Bowl. I don't think they will, but I like that team.
I think
like
the Ravens
Daniels.
have more of a chance to make the Super Bowl than the Commanders do.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no doubt. But
Derrick Henry.
But I don't like the Ravens, so
Derrick Henry is untouchable.
Yeah, he's quick, man. Like his last year with the Titans, it kind of felt like it wasn't that great.
Yeah.
But now he comes over to Baltimore, and I saw some of his runs, and he's like,
dude, he's tearing
cutting
it up
really good, and he's super fast. Like, I didn't know. Yeah, that's crazy.
Big man can move.
Backing up to the Bears in London.
Here we go. Caleb Williams comment.
It is a Caleb Williams comment. So the Bears won again. Okay, the Bears won again, and DeAndre Swift is running the ball really good, and everybody's like all high on the Bears, and he's just trash talking after the game. Not a fan. Okay, I say it every week. There it is. There's my Caleb Williams, not a fan. We can move on.
Next game that happened was the Packers and the Cardinals. For some reason, I picked the Cardinals. And you picked the Packers, so you won that one as well. That was 34-14 or 34-13. Then your Patriots got blown out by the Texans. Well, I consider it a blowout. 41-21. We both picked that game for the Texans, so we were both right there. The Bucks and the Saints, we both picked the Bucks. Even though the Saints didn't look too bad, but the Bucks really poured it on late. 51 points. Woo.
Yeah, Baker again.
Yeah, Baker showed up. The Eagles took on the Browns. I feel like the Browns have the perfect team name because that's basically what they're playing like. 20
Yeah,
to 6, 20 to 16. But what does that say to the Eagles? They only beat the Browns by 4 points. Saquon didn't show up for that game for
not
some
great.
reason. We both picked the Eagles. Colts and Titans, that was a close one. Colts came out on top 20 to 17. We both picked the Colts. We both picked the Chargers against the Broncos. You went on record saying you'll never pick a Bo Nix led team ever again. That worked out for you. 23 to 16, Chargers won. The Steelers and Raiders wasn't too bad of a game, but the Steelers they got 32 points. Is that the most they've scored all season?
Oh, I bet. I'm sure.
Probably.
Yeah.
But we both took the Steelers there. Falcons and Panthers, we both took the Falcons. I missed making bank on a bet by 50 yards thanks to Captain Kirk. Of all teams that he doesn't perform against, it's the Panthers, but they came out winning 38 to 20, and we both picked the Falcons. We both picked the Lions, we both picked the Lions over the Cowboys. The Cowboys got embarrassed. Nothing more I love than a Cowboys stomping on a Sunday.
Yeah, that was ugly. What was that? 47-9.
Yep, 47 to 9. But
I
sadly,
heard
the
Jerry
Cowboys,
Jones.
sadly the Cowboys are still in contention for the NFC East.
Yeah. Well, for now.
Yeah,
I
what
saw
about
Jerry Jones' interview. He had a radio interview the day after, and he got feisty with him.
Oh, I heard that.
He is
I heard
not
that.
happy.
Yeah, no. I mean, who would be? We both picked the Lions there. We both picked the Bengals to beat the Giants. They won 17 to 7. I thought that game would be higher scoring than that. That was kind of a defensive battle. It was fun to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good game.
And we both picked the Bills against the Jets. The Bills only won by 3.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets didn't look too shabby. And did you hear the news? Devontae Adams now a Jet?
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that's gonna fix the problems there.
I don't either, but we all kind of saw the writing on the wall. We kind of figured that's where he'd end up. I do like the Amari Cooper addition to the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
I think that could help them a lot.
Well, I like it for the Bills, right? But I don't like it for fantasy. That's what you got now for the Bills is that's a fantasy nightmare over there. Because look, you've got Shakir, you've got Coleman, you've got Kincaid, you got Samuel, you've got Cooper. It's too much going on. They're doing too much. You cannot be confident starting any of those receivers.
Well, I hate to inform you, but the Bills front office doesn't take your fantasy wishes into consideration when adding players to their team.
Well, that's fine. I don't have any of those players. I'm just saying, if you have a Bills receiver, I think this hurts. Because now it's a guessing game. Now it's a guessing game as to who they're going to throw it to, who's the number one, is there a number one? I don't even think they have a number one. It's just they just have guys. They just have guys, and they just line them up, and they're like, hey, run down there, and Josh's going to throw it up, and maybe one of you guys will catch it. So
and if Josh Allen doesn't throw it, just block for him because he's going to run it. So
yep, yeah.
But obviously, Amari Cooper is going to be the top target in Buffalo, and some guys are going to get knocked down a peg. But I like it. I like the move. I think it'd benefit them. They just need to get James Cook back, and I think they can get right back. I mean, they're not off track right now, but they can get more on the track. They got like 3 wheels off the track.
Yeah,
the rest are on, and then they'll get set that way.
Agreed.
Let's talk more.
They'll be fine. They're gonna win the division. So they got the division. It's good. I don't care about the Devontae Adams situation. The Jets. Yeah, the Bills are gonna win that division.
I want to talk about Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers.
His fake injury.
Your second favorite quarterback.
Yeah, he was looking real irritated on the bench the other night. In the fourth quarter,
wouldn't you be irritated too if your players kept dropping passes?
Yeah, but they got lots of other issues there. I mean, Rodgers goes out and he gets the coach fired, and then they come right out and lose another game.
Yeah.
Another close one. And like you said, Devontae Adams coming over, he was hurt. He had a hamstring injury when he was in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But apparently on the plane flight from Las Vegas to New York, hamstring is perfectly fine. It got healed in the air or something because he's at practice today.
It's that special New York air. As soon as he got
So
into New York airspace, oh, it's fixed.
I think that's interesting.
Aaron Rodgers probably healed him.
Maybe. I don't know, man. It's
So
you ever notice that whenever NFL players want to be like, divas, it's always a wide receiver.
always, it never fails.
Wide receivers need to know, dude, you can't do anything if you don't have an offensive line. You're not going to do much if you don't have a decent quarterback.
Every position on the offensive side and the defensive side relies on the other.
Mm-hmm.
It's never a one and done superstar situation unless you're some like amazing athlete like, I don't know, Lamar Jackson, who could just make things happen no matter what, stuff like that. But I mean, even then, even 9 times out of 10, he needs his line. You know what I mean? So I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, it all works together. It's one big puzzle that works together, and you got these guys who, I just feel like that's what's going to happen with Devontae here in a couple weeks because the Jets probably keep losing, and he's going to scream about not getting the ball, like Lamb last week or the week before, screaming on the sideline, "Give me the ball! Where's my ball?" Dude, get out of here! Now, with that being said, he is on my fantasy team, so yeah.
All right, let's hit on the games.
Hold on, who was that back in the day? Keyshawn Johnson. Remember he wrote that book?
And he was a Jet.
He was a Jet. That's right.
It's always the Jets.
Man, get out of New York.
All right, so we're gonna take a little break, and then when we come back, we're gonna talk about the picks coming up for Week 7.
Where the tri-state goes for local sports, the Coach's Corner is your source. Baseball, football, soccer.
All right, we're back with Tim. So, Tim, I call this segment "Talking with Tim." Do you like it?
It's not bad.
Or maybe "Picking with Tim."
We'll keep it.
Picking with Tim.
Picking with Tim. That doesn't sound right.
Tim talks. I don't know.
Okay.
All right, so we're getting into weeks.
13-0 last week. 13-0 last week. You know how much money I made off of that? None, because I didn't bet it.
That was my first thought when I saw that. I was like, man, he's either going to be really excited he went 13-0 and then be so deflated afterwards because he didn't do anything with actual picks and make money off it. But yeah, so so we'll talk about Week 7. Maybe you'll go 14-0.
All right, putting on the picks hat.
All right, put on the picks hat. We're going back to London. The Jaguars just stayed in London. They're just hanging out. Game of the
year coming up.
Game. Yep. Patriots taking on the Jags. Both 1-5 right now. So we got some bottom feeder teams here.
This is going to be a burner. I don't know. Are people in London paying for this game? Do they understand what they're about to witness?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Give me the Patriots. Give me Drake May. Actually, give me Drake May if he's playing.
That's what I was gonna say. May I pick the Patriots in this one?
Give me Drake May 10-3 final.
Okay, 10-3. I'm not gonna say a score because that'll mess up my pick and I'll lose. But I'm taking Patriots too. So I don't think the Jaguars. They don't got it right now.
Mm-mm.
All right, next game up. Battle of the Birds. The Falcons take on the Seahawks. I'm gonna take the Falcons here. They're more together than the Seahawks are right now. The Seahawks look like they got some turmoil while they're on the field. I think there's some communication issues. DK Metcalf's not happy, and it just doesn't look.
Another receiver.
Jackson Smith and the Jigba looks good though. He's been their top target. I mean, he's really doing well. But and Kenneth Walker, always good. Kenny's always producing. But I'm definitely taking the Falcons in this one. I think they have too many weapons.
They do. I mean, both teams have weapons. Both offenses are good. Both secondaries are just, whatever. I mean, there could be just a ton of points scored in this one. Who's the home team here?
It's the Seahawks in Atlanta, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well, if you're pretty sure, then I'm going to take the Falcons.
Okay. So far we have no different picks. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to take the Seahawks there. I don't like the time difference. I don't like the whole West Coast East Coast thing. We've talked about that before. I
Yeah.
don't like that, and I feel like these teams are really even in my book.
Yeah, I agree too, but the Falcons have been producing more than the Seahawks. Every time I've watched the Seahawks play, I'm expecting all these big points. They have so many, they have Metcalf, they have Lockett, they have Geno, they have Walker, they have Najigba, and I'm like, man, they're going to put up points, and I'll put a bet down on them that they're going to win by, I'll bet the spread or whatever what they're going to win by, and they never they never meet the spread. They never win me anything. So I gave up on the Seahawks.
We're gonna do a little segment on bets here.
Okay.
Bet of the week.
Okay.
People might want to know this.
Okay,
Bet
go
of
for
the
it.
week.
Go for it.
That game, the Birds, okay?
Yeah.
Falcons, Seahawks. It's going to be over 50 points. That's definitely going to be the over. Absolutely. That's the over. It's absolutely the over.
All right.
And Drake London for a touchdown.
Okay. Is that it? You want to add anything?
information.
You want to add anything to that?
No, I don't want to be crazy and make an 8-leg parlay. Don't do that. That's a good way to lose.
It works. It works for some people.
Out of what's your percentage of hitting those? 2-3%?
Not high.
2-3%, right?
All right, on to the next
telling you,
game.
that game's going to be over.
Well, we're moving on to the next game. Bills are taking on the Titans. This is no question. Are we really questioning if the Titans can come out and win here? No, we're not. Bills all the way.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm going to go Bills, but I saw that Will Levis gets to start again.
Gets to.
So
I don't think they have any other choice.
He might be playing for his job this week. So I don't know. I'm going to take the Bills in a close one.
I don't even know who the backup is in Tennessee.
They might not have one.
It's going to throw in DeAndre Hopkins in there. I'm sure he played quarterback at some point in his life. All right, so we're both taking the Bills here.
In the backyard. I played quarterback. I played quarterback too. I was 13. And I had one of those Nerf footballs. Remember the Nerf football that had like the squiggle lines in it? It was like a turbo. It was called the turbo. It was like half one color and half the other color.
Yes, I remember those. That's what you quarterbacked with?
Yeah, man, I was a backyard star.
I like the Vortex.
Oh, I remember that name. I don't remember what it is. Is that the one that whistled?
Yeah, the one that whistles and it has like the fins on the back of it, so you always threw a spiral.
Yeah, I need that for sure.
Yeah, same. All right, so next game up, the battle in Ohio, the Bengals taking on the Browns. Who you got?
Give me the Bengals. I think enough said. The Browns have too many issues. I mean, look, the Browns, the Broncos, the Patriots, the Jags, they're going to have a tough time beating anybody unless you play each other, which we have that London game, so somebody's going to get a win over there.
Somebody's got to win, yeah.
Unless it's a tie.
Somebody's got to win unless it's the Bengals and the Browns, and it's definitely the Bengals. I'm taking the Bengals too. I don't think the Browns, that whole Deshaun Watson issue they got going on, it's not. I think it's affecting the whole team, and you got to wonder. You got to wonder. Even though your defense is, I'll call them a normal defense, a normal NFL defense. They're not horrible. They're not really, really great, but that's their anchor of that team. You got to wonder how long it's going to take that the offense is so bad that it starts to seep over into the defense, and then just not caring.
Right, agreed, and. You don't want to say that a team has given up, but they just dealt Amari Cooper away. Are they giving up? I don't know. Probably.
Yeah. Rebuild again.
Fire sale alert. They're going to lose money on Watson. It's bad.
I will say this though. Not making any bets this weekend on the Bengals because I made one on them this past Sunday thinking they were going to score in bunches against the Giants. Nope. I did not come out on the winning end of that. Let me just tell you that. Jamar Chase let me down,
Yeah,
Joe Burrow let me down. The biggest play of Joe Burrow's night was him running to the touchdown. Did you see his touchdown celebration
I did. Yeah,
where he did the
yeah. Well, he ran for a 47-yard touchdown. That was
dude,
impressive.
fantasy wise, I was happy because he's one of my quarterbacks, but yeah, that's not how I wanted him to score. But okay, we'll move past that. All right, so the next
Right.
game, this could be a really really good game. Texans and Packers, and it's in Green Bay. Who you got here?
Yeah, I think you expect this one to be a shootout, but I don't know if it will be. I mean, I obviously wouldn't be surprised if it was. But I don't know. Give me Jordan Love, riding with Jordan Love and Baker Mayfield this year in the Packers.
All right, This is our first. Oh wait, did we clarify? Yeah, we both clarified we're picking the Bengals. I just wanted to make sure of that. I'm taking the Texans, and here's why. I think the Texans, while they're winning, they've been kind of quiet offensively, and I think they're going to. I don't want to say they're going to rebound because they're not rebounding. They're a 5-1 team, but I think they're going to revamp themselves this weekend, and they're gonna be a lot of offensive yards from C.J. Stroud. Stephon Diggs has been quiet the past couple weeks. If they get him more targets and he produces, I'm fine with that. And then Joe Mixon came back last weekend. He had a really great game, and I think he keeps that up as well as long as he doesn't get injured again. I'm taking the Texans here. I think it's too much power for the young Packers. I think it'll be close, but in a high scoring game. But I'm definitely taking the Texans.
I feel like you're almost talking me into it, but I'm going to keep the Packers. You know where else Joe Mixon was last week besides on the football field? Do you know where else he was?
Where?
He was on my bench, okay, in fantasy. I definitely messed that up.
It happens.
Yep. Screwed that up.
All right, this next game, the Dolphins at the Colts. This one's tough for me. I know the Dolphins are struggling right now, but they still have a lot of offensive weapons on the team. So if they figure it out, something could happen. And the Colts, I think, have Anthony Richardson back this week, if I'm not mistaken.
They do. Yep.
So the question is there, does Anthony Richardson start? Do you stick with Joe Flacco? Joe's been getting it done.
See, this is where the league comes down to money instead of like a clear head. Okay.
Yeah.
They're going to start Richardson because they've paid Richardson all the money. But is that a good reason to start him? I don't think so. You want to start the guy that's going to give you the best chance to win. And if Flacco's been playing good, I think you stick with him. I don't know. That's really tough. But, Richardson starting, that means that Michael Pittman on my team is going to be, on my fantasy team is going to be worthless. He doesn't throw to Pittman. He'll dump one out to Pittman for like 7 yards. He'll make Pittman like his third read. Pittman is never his first read. Watch the game. I don't even understand it. The guy is a number one receiver, and he's just like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just throw double coverage down here to Pierce or somebody. I mean, it's obviously I'm frustrated. So
obviously. All right, so you're taking.
Who are you taking?
I think I'm gonna go with the Colts here.
Yeah, I mean I don't want to, but give me the Colts.
It's in Indianapolis. It's at home. The Dolphins are struggling right now without Tua, and a lot of complaints about the coaching. So I'm taking Colts.
I heard that Tua was on a timeline to come back in the next couple of weeks.
Dude, if he comes back, he better be careful because one more concussion and he's gone.
I thought he was gone on this one.
From football and possibly life.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. He wasn't even he didn't even get hit hard. He just ran into someone's chest.
Yeah,
This past time, I don't even.
Well, I mean, the man's been concussed 2 times already, or 3 times or whatever. I lost
think
track.
Wasn't this time number 4?
I think maybe, yeah. I think you're right. It's ridiculous.
It's a crazy amount. Yeah, I thought he was already done, but I heard that he might be back in a couple weeks. So I don't know. I mean, like we talked about before, I mean, this team is he was a mediocre quarterback. And they just don't know how to operate without him. I mean, they're a great team with him and just really bad without him.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. A mediocre quarterback with a lot of surrounding better talent, which made him look good.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. The next game coming up is possibly game of the week: Lions and Vikings in Minnesota.
Hmm. You already know who I'm taking.
The
It's my
Lions.
it's my Super Bowl pick, the Lions.
The Lions looked good last week, but did you see the Aiden Hutchinson injury?
I did see that,
Yeah,
but
that
you
was
know what?
nasty. That was gruesome. I watched it. I actually watched the video.
Yeah,
The man's leg wrapped around another player's leg.
yeah, it's not great. Look like
Yeah.
taffy. So look like one of those nerds ropes,
Yeah.
sweet tart
Yeah.
ropes.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Ugh.
it's not great. But
Just thinking about
look,
it
Dan
makes.
Quinn is gonna say next man up. Give me the Lions.
And if it's any team to do next man up, it's the Lions because they have a lot of other great defensive talent, and maybe this is their time to shine. But I think the Vikings
Mhm.
stay undefeated. They're the last undefeated team in the league. Sam Darnold's looking like he's a new person. They still got Justin Jefferson out there. Their defense is clicking. Everything's going right. They're coming off a bye week. I'm taking the Vikings, and they're home. I'm taking the Vikings.
I think the Chiefs are undefeated.
Okay. Did I say they were the last undefeated team?
Yeah, I just want to throw that in there. I don't think
Oh,
the
I did.
Chiefs have lost.
I didn't. I don't think. I didn't think I'd said that. I'm sorry. I thought I said they were still undefeated. Okay, so they're one of the few undefeated teams. There you go. Is that better?
Yeah, we got to knock them down a peg.
Got to knock them down. But I'm taking the Vikings.
All right.
All right. On to the next game, an NFC East showdown. We'll call this the battle for second place. Eagles taking on the Giants. And
I don't. Man, I don't even know how the Giants are in that sentence. Battle for second place. Okay, they should be battling
right.
for last place. Give me the Eagles.
Yeah,
Give
I'm
me
gonna
the
go.
Eagles.
I'm gonna go Eagle. I'm gonna go Eagles too. I agree.
Yeah, you got Devonta Smith back. I
Yeah.
mean, he scored last week. Yeah,
Yeah.
Eagles.
I don't think with a Daniel Jones led team they're gonna beat the Eagles at all. No, I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
All right, next game, a Devontae Adams list Raiders versus the Rams. I heard Cooper Kupp's working his way back. I don't think he's back quite this week, but he's out there catching passes and taking reps. So that's good news for the Rams.
Yep. Yep. I heard that
And
he could possibly be back this week.
okay, is it game time decision?
I don't know. I didn't look at the report today, but I do have him on one of my fantasy rosters, so I'm waiting for him to come back.
All right. Well, even without Cooper Kupp, I think the Rams beat the Raiders here. Raiders are probably negativity city over there with losing
Yep.
Devontae, but they did just get Tom Brady as a minority owner.
Saw that.
Yeah, so maybe
Yeah.
he kept the positivity. You think they'll bring him out to play?
I mean, it definitely couldn't hurt. I mean, they could bring you and I out to play, and it couldn't hurt. So
I can see it now. I can see it now. They're introducing the team, and the glob of players are running onto the field together, and you're kind of squinting into the huddle, and you're like, is that a number 12? I see. Is that a number 12? Who is that? I don't recognize that guy. Then he takes his helmet off and his hair blows in the wind. It's Tom freaking Brady. Surprise.
it could happen.
It's like when in professional wrestling when they make their return and it's kept a secret. Nobody knows until it happens.
Yep. And everybody blows up. Yeah, I mean that would last for like one play. I mean they're still gonna lose. Yeah. Give me the Rams by 20.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah, I'm taking the Rams
25.
too.
20 seemed too low. Rams by 25.
All right, Rams by 25. I'm taking the Rams as well. And then we have the Panthers in Washington taking on the Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to take the Commanders here, not because I'm a Commanders fan. I'm going to take the Commanders because they're playing the Panthers. But I do have this little feeling in the back of my mind this could be a trap game.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I'm thinking this is going to be a high scoring and close game.
If the same commanders show up that have showed up the past 3 weeks, they win. if the Commanders that showed up in weeks 1 and 2 show up, then I think they still win. But it'll be like, really, is this happening right now? So
I mean, it's still the Panthers though. So give me the Skins, the Commanders, whatever. Give me
okay.
them. Give me the Washington football team. Okay. I do like them. I'm just saying. I think that this could be a high scoring,
Yeah.
potentially back and forth thrown to Deontay Johnson and Leggett situation for the Panthers.
There is a rumor swirling around because the trade deadline coming up soon that Deontay Johnson, there's interest from Washington to sign him, to trade for him. So we'll see if that comes to fruition here. Maybe a little bit of a tryout this week at Washington
That
at
would be
Northwest
nice.
Field.
That would be, yeah, that would be nice. The Redskins should make a call out to Denver because Bo Nix isn't using any of his receivers. So just saying.
All right, next game up. This one's a big one. The Chiefs take on the 49ers. The Chiefs are 5-0. Somehow the 49ers are 3-3. I heard there's a rumor Christian McCaffrey might be back this week. I don't think it's final. I think it's going to kind of come down to the next couple days, maybe a game time decision. And even if he doesn't, he'll probably be back next week. But the 49ers need to win this game. They have to win this game. I feel like if they don't win this game, their season, I don't think they're going to go anywhere in the season. I really don't. And this is a Super Bowl rematch.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, they're underperforming for sure. Like, it's tough though. I mean, your superstar goes down. Jordan Mason stepped up really nice for him though. They lost a close one the other week by 1 point to the Cardinals. That was a tough one.
Yeah.
I'm not betting against the Chiefs. I mean, it's too many weapons. It's Patrick Mahomes. I mean, come on. So I got to take the Chiefs.
I'm going to go different here. I'm going to go 49ers, and here's why. My number one reason is it's in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
It's a home game. It's a Super Bowl rematch. You want your revenge, right? It's a revenge. I guess you could clarify it as a revenge game. And I haven't been too impressed with Patrick Mahomes so far this season. He gets the win, but it's not. I don't feel like it's the same Patrick Mahomes. This Chiefs team is different than past teams. They also have Pacheco still out. He had that surgery. He's not going to be back till later in the season, if at all. They lost Rashee Rice. Travis Kelce's underperforming. I honestly don't know how they keep winning. But I'm gonna go 49ers here. If it was in Kansas City, I would say the Chiefs, but I'm gonna go 49ers.
Yeah, those are all great points. I mean, all true. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see the 49ers win, but I just can't pick them right now. That's all.
All right, next game up. The newly acquired Devontae Adams Jets versus the Steelers. I think I know who you're going to take here.
Give me the Steelers. I mean, look, here's the thing. I don't like either team, just for my own personal reasons, but
all right, who am I gonna take? You know who I'm gonna take.
I mean, I'm guessing you're going to take Aaron Rodgers and his new target.
No way. I'm taking the Steelers. You know why?
Why?
I say it every week. T.J. Watt.
Oh my gosh, I knew it. Yeah,
I'm calling it now. 2 sacks, a pick, and that's it. 2 sacks and a pick. But
are you sure you don't want to add in 12 tackles with it too, or?
No, I was going to say pick 6, but that's setting the bar really high.
That's pushing it, huh?
He's gonna get at least 1 big sack, 1 big play. He's gonna blow Aaron Rodgers up. The Jets line isn't that impressive. Aaron Rodgers, really, honestly, he did all right last week, but I mean, he's not the same Aaron Rodgers, obviously. And he's up there in age. TJ Watt might set him down a peg or two this weekend, so we'll see. But I'm taking Steelers.
Yeah, I think the Jets are just. I mean, there's another team with just a lot of big names and talent, and they just don't win. I don't know what's going on there. Don't really care for either team, but we're picking Steelers.
Yeah, you never take a team. You never take a team solely based on a new signing, especially at a high offensive position like wide receiver, and expect them to produce like that, even if they've played together in the past. It's a new offensive scheme. It's a new stadium. It's new everything. So let him get the feel in first, and then maybe start relying on it. But even if
I think maybe we were talking before about why the Jets why they're underperforming. It could be the scheme, like you said. It could be just the offensive design, because they have the people to make it work there, and they just don't. They just don't put points on the board.
Yeah.
And on the other side, the Steelers are just like quietly having a good season.
Yeah, they're not doing bad at all.
So, and that's but if you think back over the years here, can you remember a year when the Steelers did awful? No, you don't. Like they're always right there. They're always right there. They just make the playoffs. Now, when they get in the playoffs, that's another story. Like, you got to deal with, in the past years, you had to deal with Brady and now Mahomes. Andrew Luck back in the day. I mean, they just had that's a bad go of it. But yeah, they're quietly having a good season.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah. We got two games happening on Monday night, one at 8:15 and one at 9. The 8:15 game is the Ravens taking on the Buccaneers. This could be a really good game as well. Ravens coming off a big win. The Buccaneers coming off a huge win. I think that was the second most points they scored in franchise history last weekend. So,
oh wow,
this one's a tough one to pick. And honestly, I don't know right now. I need to talk about it in order to decide what I want to do.
Yeah, is it in Tampa?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, I'm gonna stick with Baker. He's just on fire. I mean, Mike Evans is still there. Chris Godwin scored twice last week. The running game, you don't know if it's going to be, White or Irving. Neither one are that great, but when they get together, they're not bad. It's like you're half good and the other guy's half good, and together they're just good.
Yeah.
So, man, and if it turns into a shootout, I feel like the Buccaneers have more weapons to get it down the field quicker. I'll take the Buccaneers.
All right. Now that I think about it, I'm going to take the Ravens. The sole fact being Derrick Henry. I think Derrick Henry is going to have another huge game, and I think that's the reason the Ravens make the playoffs this year is on Derrick Henry's back. I mean, he's big and strong enough to carry them all, so why not?
True.
I think it's going to be close, though. Regardless of who wins, it is going to be a close score. But you got the Bucs, I got the Ravens. The second Monday night game is the Chargers in Arizona taking on the Cardinals. I am taking the Chargers here. I'm not picking the Cardinals again. No way.
You know what? Upset of the week. Is this an upset? Probably not. Give me the Cardinals.
Okay. All right. So we're reversing roles. All right. I like it. Do we want to do a tiebreaker? Are you interested in that again this week?
Remember what I told you last week for the tiebreaker? We picked points, right? I told you like 162 because I don't need a tiebreaker.
All right, we won't do a tiebreaker. So if we tie, we tie. All right, cool. I'm down with that. All right, so it's going to be a good week 7, and we get the treat of 2 games on Monday night. Tonight's game as well, and I think it's going to be a good weekend in football. It's been really crazy lately. I feel like we've seen so much so far this season, and there hasn't really been besides the 2 undefeated teams left. There hasn't been a huge front runner, so we'll see if some space is made. Maybe some key wins this weekend will get some teams into that playoff talk, and we're almost halfway through the season already, so it's kind of nuts. But
yep, moving into the middle of the season, this is where you don't want to kind of jockeying for position a little bit. So. Yeah. I don't know if there are any must-win games this weekend, but we're getting to that point where they're going to be must-win games for teams. So we're getting there.
Agreed. All right, man. Well, we'll bring you back on next week, and we'll tally up the counts and see if you can keep your undefeated streak alive.
I don't know about that. It's tough.
It's a tall order, but thanks for hanging out.
All right, thanks, man.
If you'd like to be featured on the Coach's Corner with Andy, email coach@921thegoat.com.